Okay, I'm going to give you my interpretation now of a really classic beginner's guitar song, Knocking on Heaven's Door. For the verse section and the chorus, they're actually very similar. Starting out with the verse, we're going to be going into a G chord, then a D, followed by an A minor. And you would do a second A minor as well to give you 4 chords in the verse. The second time through, you repeat the G and the D, but you now go to a C chord instead of the A minor. C and A minor are very closely related chords, and you can often substitute one for the other. It's because they only have one note of difference between the two of them. Okay, so let's take our verse again, and we'll put in a basic outline of the melody so that you can start to hear how the song comes out. You could decide to play through the song using strumming or arpeggio picking. So we'll have a look at the strumming first. Basically, on the chord of G and the chord of D, I'm using what we call in Guitar in a Nutshell strum number 3, which is going down, 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 up. And when you loop it around, it sounds like this. Okay, so we're applying that strum between those two chords. I'll do that once more. Now when you get into A minor, we're going to switch into strum number 2, and that's longer, going down, 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 up, up, down, 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 up, up, down, down. You can tag on a little down up at the end if you like, but that's the basic format of the strum. So this is one of the reasons why it's really important that you know your universal strum numbers really well, so that you're able to switch cleanly between them depending on what the chord demands. Okay, so let's go through our progression here. G, D, A minor, and then G, D, C with the correct strumming. Now you might notice that I was getting a slight variation on my A minor. All I did was take away my first finger, and that gives me a chord of A suspended 2 or A add 9. So I kind of took my finger off and put it back down again, and there's really no correct way. You can kind of just improvise it as you go along depending on what sounds best to your own ear. On the C, you also have a little variation there that you can do by taking away your second finger. And that's often a good lead into the G because you're opening up the D string here, the 4th string, which is a common tone with your G chord. So you're matching up a common tone between the two. That's the reason that it works well. Okay, let's go into the chorus section now with strumming. In effect, by learning the verse section, you've already learned the chorus because it's simply G, D, and C. You just repeat that 4 times for the chorus. There's no A minor, and the strumming is exactly the same. So it's simply going. repeat that line 4 times, and then you'll be back into the verse again. Now, so those are the only 2 parts you need, just the verse and the chorus for the whole song. I mentioned also that you could arpeggio pick through the chords, and we'll do that in the next segment. Now, arpeggio picking is something that you need to learn on its own. It's a technique that you can apply to any chord progression you come across in songs. So a lot of beginners make the mistake of trying to combine learning songs with learning guitar, and they're 2 separate things. First, you have to learn your chords and your strumming, arpeggio picking, hammer-ons, pull-ups, all the various techniques, and then you apply those to the songs once you've learned how to do them. So if you don't know how to pick through your chords, that's a technique that you should go away and learn with dedicated lessons. You'll find some on the website, or there's plenty of them around on the web in general. But once you learn how to arpeggio pick, you're just applying that technique through the chords. Now, a good thing can be to use your arpeggio picking technique through the verse. And then when it comes into the chorus, you can switch into strumming. So you're creating a difference of dynamics. For the verse you're arpeggio picking, and for the chorus you're actually strumming.